Welcome to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. This is your boy DJ KO. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. I'm glad you guys are celebrating the holidays. I hope you're getting your kids everything they want. I hope you are fighting this traffic in Houston, and hope you're cooking some gumbo because I'm coming to your house for the holidays. First and foremost, thank you guys who tune in to the show. I thank you guys who subscribe to the show. You guys, last week we had a great topic about monogamy and polygamy, and you guys had a lot of interesting comments about that, so I appreciate that. But today, we got a special show today for you guys. We got something that I think is going to benefit the whole black community as a whole. I think as a black race, you know, we talk about other things that really don't matter, but today we're going to talk about economic empowerment and how we can help each other out. So today we got a special guest on the show. We got my man, Mr. G. Wade.
That's me.
Mr. G. Wade on the show. He's gonna bring us to the promised land with this show. Welcome to the show, brother.
Glad to be here, bro. Glad to be here. Yeah.
So look, Mr. Wade. So what can I call you? G. Wade, Mr. Wade?
Well, it all depends.
Okay.
You know, if you know me well, you can call me G. Wade.
Okay.
If it's about business, I prefer Mr. Wade.
Okay.
For young people who want to get up on me, Unc and old school and all that is off the, you know. I dig the respect, but Mr. Wade would be good until you get to know me. Then G. Wade is perfect.
G. Wade. Well, we're gonna talk about business today.
Absolutely, let's do it.
And we're gonna talk about, because you have the key. So back in before we even get the introduction, where you from and everything, me and his brother had a conversation. It was a heavy conversation. We was out at one of the local black spots, and it was a conversation that, you know, you run into strangers, and they have this conversation, and you're like, okay, this conversation is going to help out not just me, but it's going to help out the community as a whole, right? So I appreciate that conversation. So I had to bring the brother on. So Mr. Wade, first and foremost, how are you doing today?
Man, God is good.
Awesome.
Absolutely
all the time.
excellent.
All the time.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. Where are you where are you from?
I was born in a place called Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay, so you from Louisiana.
Absolutely.
Oh, shout out to everybody. Hey, shout out, what else, Louisiana? Shout out to everybody from Louisiana.
All right. Okay. But I was raised in H-Town. And I
shout out to Houston also. You got to do that too.
Oh, yeah, I love Houston, man. Ain't no place like H-Town. Okay. H-Town is home, been home. And I've traveled all over the world, all over the country, man, but I love my city.
So one reason why I brought you on the show, because we want to talk about business and government contracting. Absolutely. You know, far as with government contracting, that's some lingo that we're not familiar with as a people, as a whole.
I agree. Our community.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a couple people that know about it, but that's not the majority.
That's not enough. Yeah.
So how long have you been in government contracting?
Actually, I've been in government contracting probably 2 decades now.
Okay.
The first decade, I was trying to find my way through. The last decade, I've been raised in hell trying to make sure people who look like me get involved in the process.
Okay.
And just not enough of us from our communities involved in the process.
So the process, what is the process?
The process is simply this. If you think about it, in America, there is about 13% African-American population. So when you look at the numbers, let's just throw some quick numbers out. 330 million Americans, let's say 10 million 30 million African-Americans.
Okay.
Of that 30 million African-Americans, we pay taxes to run this country.
That's right.
You got it?
That's right.
And the money we put into the tax base comes back for everything. You name it, highways, byways, libraries, schools, airports.
Right.
And that money should come back to us in some form. And in this country, there's rules and regulations that has established that we can be a part of that process if we understand the process.
Okay.
And the problem we have in our community is we don't understand the process. So I'm on a mad mission
Okay.
to make sure people that look like me is involved in the process.
So in saying that, because that's powerful. So in saying that, I know that most of us that's listening, they're going to say, okay, well, of course we pay taxes and we are taxpayers and our money is going to the infrastructure that we invest in, but nobody ever gave us, I guess, a lesson or a government contracting 101 to our race.
You're absolutely right. So in America, it's been established in our mind that we must be certified.
Okay.
Certification. Certified for what? To say we black? When we came out our mama womb, we was already certified minority.
Correct.
So jumping through the hoops of how much money you got, what's your nationality, and all these things really don't certify you. But the way the world has been developed throughout the United States, at least since the 1964 Civil Rights Act, is get certified. So, Adam, if you go look in the mirror right now, you're going to see a African-American brother.
Yes.
What else you need to know other than you certified black?
So when you mean, all right, so you're saying certified. So in my mind, the first thing I think about when you say certified, I'm thinking about a document that somebody gave you saying that you have authority to operate in whatever.
Well, this certification authority basically certifies to say that you're a minority.
Okay.
But all you got to do is look in the mirror and see that you're a minority.
So now going back to that. Oh, yeah, that's another question that comes up. So when you say minority, in 2021, minority is something different than it was in 1960.
Well, absolutely. So in America, by law, if you are a white woman, you consider minority.
Okay.
A black man, black woman, all these different nationalities. And all of this stuff was derived from the 1964 Civil Rights Act.
Correct.
And I don't have to tell you who was on the front line when black people was getting beat with chains, bitten by dogs. I don't think it was no white women.
It wasn't.
Didn't see too many Hispanics.
It wasn't.
Didn't see too many. It was us.
Correct.
So with the work of our leaders, Dr. Martin Luther King and a lot of others, the 1964 Civil Rights Act was signed into law by President Johnson. And if you go back and read that law, it says that a whole lot of things need to happen for
blacks,
particularly black people. But over time, our legislators and our lawmakers have allowed this word to come in called disadvantage.
Okay.
Or socially, economically disadvantaged, meaning any and everybody.
Right.
Well, hell, black people been that all their life.
Okay, so you're saying they threw a loophole in there with that wording?
Pretty much. Well, let's put it like this, and this is my opinion from studying over a couple of decades. White women are considered to be minorities. Okay. God bless their soul. That's the law. That's the federal law.
Right.
Now, when it comes to contracting and doing business, white women is getting the vast majority of the minority contracts, which is a problem.
So why is that? I want to know. That's one I want to dig it into, because before you even answer that question, because the thing is, okay, so now the thing is, when I think about I'm going to get certified, I'm going to apply for I guess a government number. I guess it's I forget what it was, and now I'm going through the process on trying to get an actual contract. Like going through the actual steps to get a contract.
So let's go to let's do contracting 101.
Okay.
First of all, you do have to jump through those hoops to qualify as being certified minority.
Okay.
Because nobody knows that until you display it and then they research it. Okay.
Right.
Now, once you get certified, okay, now what do you do? So certified to do what?
Right.
And our problem in our community is we're certified, but we ain't qualified. And qualified is whatever you say you do.
Okay.
So let's just say you are a plumber.
Okay.
What things do a plumber used to need to have? Do you have pipe wrenches?
Yes.
Do you have a truck?
Yes.
Do you have some pipe?
Yes.
Do you have the knowledge?
Absolutely.
So there are some things that you need to have in your prospective industry
Okay.
to determine whether you're qualified. See, certification without qualification really don't mean a whole lot.
Okay.
And so what I'm on a mission to do is not just get people certified, but to get them qualified in what you do.
Right.
Because once you become qualified in what you do,
Okay.
then it changes the ball game.
Okay. That makes sense. So now let's talk about the actual process what we talked about earlier.
Okay.
So now, first of all, what do I even look for when let's start from the beginning. Websites. We don't know what websites. We don't know.
Well, let's go back to the beginning.
Okay. The very beginning. All
Before
right.
we even start thinking about certification,
Okay.
we need to think about what we do.
Okay.
You know, let me just lay it out like this. Let's say a kid go to Texas Southern University to be an electrical engineer. Okay? Did that kid go to TSU to be an electrical engineer to get a job? Or did he go to TSU to be an electrical engineer to get a contract?
To get a job. Most time.
Most time we are programmed to get a job.
That's right. That's right.
And what we need to be programming our kids is to not just get a job, but start a business. Now, everybody ain't going to be able to start a business, but some of us are. Okay?
That's true.
So now, let's just say this kid went to TSU, got his degree, and he interned at Chevron for 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Well, at Chevron, was he programmed to be there to just be an employee, or did he go there to pick up some game and learn how to start his own business?
Well, it depends on his mindset.
That's right. So we got to start teaching our kids early on. Don't just go to work. Get ready to run a business.
But so that's the argument I want to have. Not an argument, but that's
Okay.
a rebuttal I want to have, because now you said most of the kids' parents that go to these colleges, right?
Right.
One, this generation, most of their parents didn't even go to college. So all they did was work 35 years, 40 years with somebody else.
On the job.
On the job, right? So that's one.
But you got to also add this to it. When they was working on that job, they always said that they was going to try to push their kid to not
do what they did. Did.
Start a business.
Right.
You got it?
I get that. No, I get that 100%.
Okay.
Now I get it, because I'm thinking. So we're thinking now on the mindset that we have now. But if you have an 18-year-old kid that's from the hood, let's say from the hood, that went to TSU, got that engineering degree, right? All they saw was their parents
going to work. Right.
And now, 40 years down the line, their parents try to start a mom and pop business, but it's not really successful.
Well, so here's the key. What do you consider success?
Okay, that's relative.
So let's look at it like this. Let's say, again, this kid finished college, got his degree, worked at Chevron for 4 years.
Okay.
At Chevron, while he was there for 4 years, he learned the game.
That's right.
So now, guess what it's time to do?
Step
out on your own.
Okay.
And guess who go back to be your first client? Chevron.
Chevron, right.
So now, instead of Chevron being your employer, now you're going to get a contract because you are a minority and qualified. And the reason you're qualified because you've been there 4 years,
right? And
they know you can get it done,
right.
So now you're turning around, not just Chevron, but customers Chevron had. You want to try to see if you can get some business at those places. A lot of people do it, but they do it later in life.
Yes.
You know, a lot of our older brothers and sisters who work for these companies, man,
I could have did this
years
ago.
20 years ago.
Right. But to that, but you know what? That's funny, because that's true.
It's true.
But also, you got to put this into equation too. A lot of people are fearful.
I agree. Listen. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. And that's the reason why we don't flourish like we should.
Okay.
To be successful, you must fail.
Yes, that's good.
I mean, no doubt about it. Nobody just don't not fail.
Right.
It's just a part of life.
Right.
Everything goes up, must come down. But the key is you got to get back on and keep doing it again.
Keep doing it. So let me ask you this, and I like what we're talking about right here, because you got my mind turning. What about when we started going for these contracts? What you think about partnerships and collaboration?
I think JVs are good, but again, with a JV,
Okay.
you still got to be qualified to be able to perform what you are certified to do.
Right.
You see, we missed the most important part of the conversation we're talking about, and we're talking about what's called a NACE code. And a NACE code basically is what you say you do.
And that's the what is it? NAISC.
NAISC, yes. National Association, North American, I can't call it acronyms, but basically it says if you're a plumber, you have 6 numbers as your NACE code.
Right. So for the people that listen, the NACE code is basically it's a 5-digit code. 6-digit code that every single job that the government has for us to get a contract is
described.
It describes, right.
Yes,
That's basically like your trade for that contract.
For that contract. Now, so this NACE code that we're talking about, remember the certification part of it. Once you get certified, they put you in a database. Okay. So now, let's just say there is a freeway being built, and let's call it the 288 freeway, because everybody's familiar with 288 toll road.
That's in Texas, yes.
Right. The 288 is in my community. It was built maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was an $800 to $900 million project.
Yeah.
Of that project, 12% of that money was supposed to be spent with the disadvantaged business enterprise community.
Okay.
Which supposed to be minorities.
Black. Well, minorities. All right.
You got to understand the language. See, if you knew better, you could do better.
Right.
So you got to understand the rules and regulations.
Okay.
Bottom line is that money was spent in part primarily with everybody but African Americans.
Why is that though?
That's because we have to be more about our business. And let me tell you what I mean in a short. Let's say if you wanted your house painted.
Yes.
And you called me to paint your house, and I came over to you and say, well, I'm really a plumber, but I can paint
your house, right.
And you like, no, I want a painter.
Right.
So a part of the problem in our community is we got all these people that look like me and you that say we can do this and that, but they can't do it
because they're not
qualified to do it because
they
don't have the history. They just heard a contract going down they needed somebody to do it. And so all of a sudden they done jumped in the game. Now they plumbers.
I got you.
But let's go a little deeper than that.
Okay.
So our leaders and our political figures know this person, so they slide them in the mix. And somehow or another, they come up with this contract. Remember, they ain't no plumber or no painter, but now they go to the community of real painters and plumbers and recruit somebody to do the work.
Right.
And they get their little 2 cents.
A little kickback, yeah.
Now, again, is that right or is it wrong?
Well, that's business.
It is, but it's stunting the growth in our community. It's stunting the growth.
Because when you say that, like I said, that's relative when you say what's right and wrong. Now, to them, that might be right, but to us, it's wrong.
It's wrong. And here's why it's fundamentally wrong. First of all, the company that's actually doing the work cannot develop and cannot bring in people to hire because you made the change and they just sitting there doing the work.
Right.
And not making any money, but they starving so bad to get in because they think that you going to get them in, and when you get them in, sure enough, they're in, but they ain't making no money. So what's the purpose of doing a project if you don't make any money?
What's the purpose of that? Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And so we have a lot of fundamental problems that's going on in our community, but the very first one, we need to understand the rules and regulations of government contracts.
And I want to get into that. I'm about to get into that.
Yes.
So that's my next question. So Mr. Wade over here, he's spinning the game to us. I hope y'all got y'all pen and y'all paper because he's spinning game. So now we're talking about first, get qualified.
That's the easy part.
Get qualified first.
Yeah, that's the easy part.
Get that piece of paper.
Yes.
Then get certified. Now you got to understand the rules and regulations. We got to talk about procurements. We're going to talk about the regulations. We're going to talk about policies. We're going to talk about everything.
All of that good stuff.
The stuff that you need.
That you need to know.
That's right.
See, if you knew better, you could do better.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the motto of the MWDBE Training Academy.
Okay.
If you knew better, you could do better. And the way you know better is you got to understand the rules and regulations. It's like in any game. If you play basketball, if you step on the line, you're out of bounds.
That's right.
You got to stay in bounds. If you play football, if you move fast, move ahead of everybody, there's legal motion. So there's rules to the game. And the winners are those who know how to play the game by the rules.
That's right.
If you don't play the game by the rules, you're probably going to end up in cell number 46 with a number.
So you saying there's some illegal action? Well, we're gonna get to that illegal action, right? We'll get to that, but I want to stay on the policies, the procurements, the rules and regulations. Okay. So what are the rules and regulations of just government contracting 101? So
the first thing that you really want to be able to do is understand how to go and find projects.
Okay.
Every agency have a sourcing mechanism, usually on a website, where you go to their website and see what jobs they got coming up.
Right.
And here's the number one problem that we run into as minorities in our community. Try to go do things we can't do.
Okay. So what you mean by that?
So, again, the 288 is a humongous project, okay? If you are a concrete guy, okay, you need to be able to read the proposal that's out and see how big a piece of the work that you can actually do with the crew you got.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Right.
That's the first thing you want to do. You don't want to go in over your head.
Over bid, yeah.
You don't want to go in over what you can do capacity.
Right. Because because they're going to hold you accountable.
They're going to hold you accountable for it.
Right.
So the best thing to do is be able to know what you can do.
Okay.
That's the very first
thing. That's the first thing.
That's the first thing. So now, in this contract for $100 million, the prime contractor who usually win it have some goals to meet. And in that contract, in that proposal, it's going to say how much gold credit they have to receive for this project. Right. It's in black and white, but you got to read it. And a lot of these packages 2,000 and 3,000 pages long.
Right.
But you got to be able to go straight to where you need to be. And when I look at contracts, Adam, the first thing I look for is minority.
Right. That's it.
Sound like mine.
That's mine right there.
My department. So I look in there and get to read, $800 million. Oh, they got to spend 12%. So I get to calculate $800 million, 10 million, 10%. Oh, that's
like 85 million.
85 million.
85 million.
Oh, okay.
They got to give it to me.
Somebody who look like me, or somebody who meets the same standards as me as a minority.
Okay.
Or disadvantage. You got me?
Got it.
See, when you hear those acronyms, MWDBE, that stands for minority, woman, disadvantage. They got airport, disability. They got all kind of alphabets. But you just got to be able to understand all that. And to be able to understand all that stuff, you need training.
That's right.
You need training. You know what to look for. So now let's go back to the $85 million. So of that $85 million that's available to you as a minority, well, you can only do $2 million of it. Okay. Legitimately. Okay. Now, if you do that $2 million worth of work, you want to try to make you 20, 25, 30%. So $2 million, that's a nice little grip.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you perform like you're supposed to perform and make the $2 million and walk away with 20% profit, you should be able to go buy you some more equipment, should be able to do you some more things to be able to build your business. So the next time around, you can go for $4 million.
That's right.
Now, the part you can do, the prime contractor who needs the minority participation will give you an opportunity to be able to fulfill what you say you can do, if you can do it, because it goes to gold credit for them.
Right.
And that's where you got to convince them and sell them that, hey, not only can I do this work, but I also bring value added. Okay. If you use me for $2 million worth of work, you can apply that whole $2 million toward your goal. So now all you need is $86 million.
So now, so all right. So you use a term that a lot of people are not familiar with. You said prime contractor.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know what a prime contractor is.
Okay. Well, prime contractor in this particular sentence is someone who goes out to win the project from the entity, from the city, state, county, from the government.
And that has, I guess, they have a background already.
Pretty much
40, 50 years of doing it.
Well, could be. So again, On the prime side, you got prime contractors that's been around forever and a day.
Right.
They got kids. Now, keep in mind, these prime contractors are 99.999% of the time white people.
Absolutely. Jewish.
So, Jewish, white,
Right.
whatever you might do. So now, they want to get their kids on, so their kid come along and start another company.
A subsidiary.
Now, they can't be minority because they're not in our class, but what they can do is they can be a subcontractor and get a nice piece of that project to make them some money to be able to go now and bid on a project to be the prime themselves.
Right. I got you. I got what you're saying. I got you. Okay.
So
they double dipping basically.
They not double dipping. They just helping their own.
Right. They just basically getting that prime from their grandfather.
Right, and passing it on and keeping it in the family.
And starting a subsidiary underneath that company, which is still owned by that company. But they're still getting a major cut.
But Adam, guess what?
Go ahead.
They cannot fulfill the minority participation.
That 12%.
Can't do it.
You gotta give that 12% to the minority.
That 12%.
And that's what you here for.
That's what we're here to talk about.
That's right.
That's what we're here to talk about. Our piece.
Right.
Our piece.
So in the past, do you think that we've been getting our just due?
No. Absolutely not.
And why is that?
I got a lot of reasons. There are multiple, but I can give you a few of them.
Okay.
Number one, we can't perform in our community.
Okay.
We're talking about it, not being about it.
So we're not qualified, basically.
We're not qualified, basically.
All right.
Basically.
We're just talking.
We're just talking. And the ones that are qualified, the few that are qualified, are being overshadowed by those who are not qualified.
I got you.
Okay.
So they basically kind of hurting
those who are qualified.
Right.
Because now when you start dealing in business terms, those who are cutting the checks at the top of the rung ain't trying to hear what you're talking about on the low end.
Right.
So how are we going to be involved in these projects if we don't get in on the top side?
End. That's
Let me tell you something when I teach my students all the time. On public money, when they get ready to cut the deal, we need to be at the table.
That's right. By
me being a minority and a taxpayer in this country, every public project that comes out, I have a seat at the table.
That's right, because you pay taxes.
I pay taxes, and I need to know what's happening. And for me to need to know what's happening, I got to go look, read, and find out.
That's right.
Ain't nobody going to hold me down. In fact, if you think about it, when they do these big public projects, they always have these hearings in the hood, in the gym.
Right.
And nobody goes to them. And then before you know it, there's a big old highway going down the middle of your neighborhood. And then they say, oh, where'd it come from? Well, hell, they had a meeting at Woodson Middle School back 2 years ago. Where were you?
So you're saying we're not informed?
We're not informed.
Or unaware.
We're not informed and unaware. And again, a lot of this stuff is because of our leadership. Let me tell you something, man. Listen, and this is against nobody. And all of my brothers and sisters in political positions in this town, they know how I feel. If you're going to be a leader, you got to be a leader.
You got to educate the people.
You got to educate the people. It can't be about you. It's got to be about the people.
So before you get into that, because this got me wondering, because this is just not, I know we in Houston and we live in Houston, but these other cities around the world that do the same thing, that minorities not getting that just due because they don't know, and our leaders are not informing.
Listen, Adam. It's very difficult for you to teach me something if you don't know it.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
And most of our leaders, most of our political people aren't business folks. Somebody just voted them in a position for whatever reason.
Right, yeah.
And when they get there, they forget, you got to know something.
Right.
You got to know something. You got to know something. And when you know something, the opposition know you know it.
Right. So they
got a different outlook on it.
Right.
You see the opposition, come on, baby, you done been there before. When you looking at your opposition, I know you know, you don't know.
Right.
And the problem we have is most of us don't know. And we ain't trying to learn because it don't matter to us because we're not getting the money. Here's my attitude on my community. I'm a leader in my community.
Okay.
It is my responsibility to make sure young brothers and sisters in the Houston community flourish.
That's right. And why is that? And why is that your passion?
Well, first of all, I'm a God-fearing man, and the word teaches me by watering others.
That's
I
right.
automatically water me.
That's right.
Off the rip. That's the deal God cut with me. God said, G-Wade, you take care of the people, I got you.
Okay.
And people that know me know that's my code. That's what I live by. And so it's working. I believe in helping the people. I'm good. But I want to see my young brother, my grandson, his friends, your kids, your friends grow. And we can do it. All we got to do is stop accepting the least and go for the most.
Right.
And that's the deal.
But you know what? That's very important, because not just for people your age, people my age, and people younger than me. Because now, of course, you know, we always have this divisive mentality saying, you got yours, I'm going to get mine, versus saying, come here, young brother, come here, young sister, let's work together. This is what I know for sure, because it worked for me. Let me help you get this so you can help somebody else get this. And now we could build what we call the community.
Right. Well, you know, again, our community is exactly what you said. Everybody is trying to outdo everybody, other than everybody working together.
Right.
Other communities work together.
Right.
Other minority communities work together.
Look, even if they don't like each other.
Even if they don't like each other.
They still work together.
They still work together.
Because they see that money at the end.
They see that money at the end.
Yeah.
They see that money at the end. And until we break the mentality of that, then we're going to have problems.
Right.
You know, our brothers and sisters from our community, you know, particularly ministers, politicians, and all that kind of stuff, they so busy looking at what they doing.
Right. Instead of empowering the community.
Instead of empowering the community.
Yeah.
You know, again, I can't hold that against them as being wrong, because they think that's what they should do.
Right.
But here's what I know. We ain't moving forward.
So let me ask you this. In saying that, you know, because the thing is, hopefully this interview, it gets people, their wheels churning, and to start helping each other out. Because when I say helping each other out, I'm looking at, what if a person has a skill set, which is what makes them qualified, right? Then another person has, say, authority, like some type of authority, like a city official or whatnot. And another person has the money. Those three pool their resources together and start bidding on some of these contracts that's granted to them.
Let me make it easier for you. Remember that $800 million contract that I told you about?
Mm-hmm.
86 million or thereabout is already there for us.
They got to give it to you.
Yes. But the problem we have is those who supposed to politic and squabble for us ain't squabbling for us.
So that's what it is. I got you.
Listen, let me tell you something. That $800 million that was put up by private investors and some by the state of Texas, we are part of that.
Right.
We taxpayers. That freeway, listen, let me give you some history on 288 for those who don't know.
Okay.
It's a 52-year lease on that. 52
years,
baby.
wow.
52 years.
You pay for 52 years for that thing.
Yes, sir. They getting the money.
Oh, yeah.
And they going to pay out in 15 years, and guess what? The remaining years going to be profit. Okay?
Ooh.
And the 288 is running right down the middle of the African-American community on all sides.
That's right. Right through 3rd Ward.
Right through 3rd Ward, Sunnyside, Hiram Clark.
Right through it.
Trust me, baby, I grew up in that area, and I know it.
That's right.
And that's why it offends me so much. Now, thank God Almighty for Senator Miles, because Boris fought hard, very hard, to get minorities a piece of the pie.
Okay.
The problem he had was he didn't have enough brothers standing behind him that could perform a commercially useful function.
Oh, they couldn't do it.
And that's a term that we need to talk about, performing a commercially useful function. A cuff.
So what is that?
Commercially useful function means, Adam, if you are a plumber, I'm a damn plumber. I can get it done. I got the wrenches, I got the truck, I got the equipment, I got the experience, I got the crew, I got everything, and I know I can perform a cuff.
Okay.
And when I know I can perform, put me in.
Okay.
Now, if you can't perform and get put in, you ain't going to stay in.
Right.
And you're going to make everybody else look stupid.
I got what you're saying. Yeah. I got you.
And so that's what it's about. What we need to be able to do and learn in our community, I don't care what your NAICS code is, I don't care what you say you do, be able to perform a commercially useful function. In fact, let me put some real butter on it.
Go ahead.
49 CFR Part 26.55 in the federal code clearly says
CFR,
what I just said.
CFR. Code of Federal Regulations, yeah.
Code of Federal. 49 CFR Part 26.55 clearly describes what we should be able to do to be a part of the mix.
Okay.
Now, 49 CFR is a long rule and regulation.
It's a document for the government.
It's from the government. Basically tells those who are involved, this is what you need to do, and it derived from the 1964 Civil Rights Act. We don't have time to talk
go
about
into
it.
that. Yeah.
But what you can do, if you really, 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 really want to know, the MWDBE Training Academy, MWDBE Academy.com.
Okay.
That is a school that I started.
Okay.
Online.
Okay.
Absolutely, positively free.
Okay.
All you have to do is sign up and get in.
Say that one more time.
MWDBE Academy.com.
Y'all check that out.
Free. 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 And here's my mission. The reason it's free is because I believe that in this state first, the state of Texas, that the state government is going to fund it.
Okay.
And then from Texas, we're taking it nationwide. Let me tell you something. Listen, in this state, there's roughly about 5,000 minority-owned firms in the directory.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
In the directory now. Remember, that's certified directory. Of the 5,000, Adam, that's in there, 2,500 of them, you don't know their phone number, their email. They just there.
They just there. They just have a name.
The other 2,500, probably 1,000 of those are white women.
Okay.
And the other 1,200 is lottie-dottie and everybody.
Right.
So here's
people of color, say that.
Well, people of color.
People of color.
So here's what I've done. Over the last 2 years, I've gotten that directly, and I've basically advertised to those in the African-American community in this state.
Only.
Okay.
Listen,
over 800 of them. I sent out e-blasts, emails, call, everything to get in this academy. And guess how many responded?
How many?
Less than 50.
Wow.
So here's what that tells me. All you want is a damn certification.
You're not really so that's heavy though. That's heavy. So you telling me and we're not gonna get into that part, but so you're giving free game, right? Because you already got the promise from God. Say,
absolutely,
look, God already told you what it is.
Absolutely.
If you give me the award, I'm gonna water the plants.
Water the people.
That's
period,
all.
Period.
But you're trying to give out free game. But I think it goes back to what you said earlier. I think some people are just talking, just to say I got a business. Oh, right. I got a business. I'm doing this.
I'm certified.
Oh, I'm certified to do this. But they're really not doing nothing. Or they're afraid to go to that level to say, okay, I might be able to get an actual contract to help some people out.
All in the above, but the most important one that I've experienced is just want to be certified because you think when you get certified, you're going to get a contract.
Right. No, it don't work like that.
Don't work like that.
Right.
Don't work like that. But the prime contractors love to seek you out because now you got certifications with no qualifications, and they can give you some kibbles and bits, and you can let them use your certification to make them look like they met their goal.
Right.
And that's where our leaders need to come in and say, wrong answer. Brothers from the community, we're not letting you allow this prime contractor to use your certification to make it look like he met his goal by giving you a few dollars.
Right.
So with the MWDBE Training Academy, what we try to do is we try to train and educate brothers and sisters from the minority community, particularly African American. We're not prejudiced. Everybody's welcome.
Right.
But, I mean, I love my neighborhood. That, hey, if you want to be in the free flow of all this money that the federal government is putting back into our community,
right,
you got to know something.
So let me ask you this, and this is and we're gonna eventually empower our people. Why is it so important for us to have money?
Well, you need money to pay your bill.
Well, I'm saying outside of that, because we had this conversation, and I want people to understand why you're driving. We got to get a certain amount of money in our community. What's the purpose of that?
Well, the purpose, in my opinion, is I want my community to be able to flourish like all other communities.
That's right.
So people in my community need to have good jobs, number one.
Right.
Thriving businesses, number two. We need investments in our community.
And then to go back to that money question, that money topic, the thing is, we need money. We don't need money just about Lamborghinis or live in Third Ward, live in River Oaks. We need money so we could start having a voice If you think police brutality is the thing in our community, you have a voice now. The Mirror will hear you.
Oh yeah, they like money. Money talk.
Absolutely. If you got money, look, these other I guess groups that have money, they make their demands. And what happens is the mayor signs off on it. Not even that, but the president signs off on it if you got enough money. Money and power. That's right.
Money equals power.
That's right.
You know, and so we have to listen. Let me just give you some crazy stats.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy stats. Annually in America, the annual budget is about $5 trillion annually.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just use raw numbers so everybody can keep up with it. Let's just say 10% of that $5 trillion came from us.
Okay, $500 billion.
Baby, that's a nice little piece of change.
Oh, that's
so hold on now. Let's just say we get the government to just give that back to us, our community.
Okay.
In fact, I'm working on something called the BARS Act, Black America's Reparation. In other words, it may not ever pass, but I would like for the United States of America, if y'all just want to do right by the African American community, annually, why don't y'all break off $500 billion?
Yeah.
Put it into an account and get people that look like us to lend it back to us in our community.
Right.
Because we in our community know who is qualified to
do whatever.
Get a loan.
Yeah.
But if you look in our community, we got Chase Bank and Frost Bank and all these other banks. Damn, people don't look like us.
At all.
And then they put 2 or 3 people in there that look like us from the community, can't sign off on nothing, you know.
Right.
And, you know, another thing, I got brothers and friends that work at these banks, try to 52 fake you out like they go, come on, baby, you can't. Come on, baby, come on. You know?
So look, let me ask you this, because there's two sides to this contracting thing now.
Yeah.
So if you do get granted a contract and you work together, you get, you know, some partnerships and y'all work together, y'all do get a government contract. There's repercussions to that if you don't abide by these rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
Because recently here in Houston, one of our he was an official. He was a
COO.
A COO. He got arrested for laundering money? Not laundering money, but he was stealing, basically stealing,
straight
stealing money from
taxpayers.
From taxpayers,
the worst kind.
So let the people know that the repercussions to this thing, because it's not just and the money trail, like you said. Go ahead, tell them about the money trail.
Well, first of all, money got a trail.
Always.
Money got a trail.
And it don't stop.
Especially if you got a lot of money.
Right.
And I need to check my math if I'm wrong, but if you handle more than 10 grand in cash money and you take it to a bank.
Yeah, they're going to,
They I think the Patriot Act asks you a whole lot of questions about where the money come from.
Yeah, they don't disperse it. They don't give it to you until they find out.
Yeah, they need to find out where that money goes. So when you start doing these contracts and start cheating and start bringing other people in, you have violated public trust. And trust me, 9 out of 9.5 times, you're going to get caught.
Right, absolutely.
Trust me, especially if it's in the millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
A few slip through the crack, and that's okay. But what I advocate and what I tell young brothers and sisters that I notice in business is in politics, why cheat? Why do we have to cheat when we in power? Listen, Adam. In this city, we got a brother that's a mayor.
Yeah.
We got 5 or 6 African-American council members.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We got a black county. We got black people everywhere.
Yeah, we got like 19 judges.
Everywhere.
Black.
Everywhere.
Right.
But when you look at us on the economic status, we at the bottom of the...
Yeah.
Somebody help me understand that.
There's something ain't right about that.
The reason it is not right because those who are empowered to open up the floodgates won't open them up. You know, I always quote my mayor of saying, I'm the CEO. Well, make it happen, Mr. CEO.
You have the ability to do it.
Yes, sir.
You the mayor.
Yes, sir. So now let's open up the closet and let's see who you're making it happen for. All I need for you to do is get out of the way and let the opportunities present themselves and watch me shine.
To the people that
can make it happen.
Right.
Don't try to shoot me down.
Right.
And that's what we have a lot in our community. For whatever reason, some of our leaders don't want to see you come up, Adam.
Black men.
Black men. They don't want to see you outdo them.
So how we get so my mission is, one reason why I started this podcast, because my mission is this. Even though that's the cycle. Right. And that's the history of, us, and that's the history of politics. I get that. Politics is gonna be politics. Politics is a dirty game. I get it. But
it don't have to be, Adam.
It doesn't, but that's what it is. Some people have a selfish mentality. My thing is, I want to know, what can we do, or what do you think, right, we can do as a people? I'm not saying everybody, because everybody is not going to agree. I get that. Some people still want welfare. Some people still want to get their own money and do their own thing. I get that. Nothing's wrong with that. But what can we do as a community to do your part to better the whole situation?
That's a very good question, and I study that every day, especially in my city, in Houston. First of all, what we need in this city is new, young leaders. Okay. Nothing against our politicians who've been in these positions for a long time, but we need new leaders. Let me give you a perfect example. I've been sitting in a seat for 25 years, trying to get the opposition to do some things for me. And they ain't done them.
Right.
How the hell you think 26 years they gonna do it? They ain't done it yet.
Right.
Now.
Right.
If I send a new person to see you, young and fresh, who ain't trying to hear nothing you talking about, and you can say, well, this is how we used to do it with X, Y, and Z. Well, wrong answer. X, Y, and Z ain't in power no more.
They gone, right.
It's a new sheriff in town.
That's right. New regime, yeah.
Now, when you call X, Y, and Z and say, well, what's wrong with him? X, Y, and Z should say, we're not in control no more. They in control.
Okay.
And what we get more times than not is a lot of our leaders would take that call from that ex, quote unquote, powerful person and then go back and tell our leaders, chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
For what?
Right. I got
For
you.
what?
So
what?
They basically like the
we free.
Yeah.
We free. We are free.
So they like the, hey man, you gonna rock the boat?
Chill out. Don't rock the boat. Yeah, they're my people. And at the same time, your people are dying off.
That's heavy.
Now, listen. What's wrong with you representing yourself and making sure the opposition respect your people?
Right.
We're not asking for everything. We're asking you to get out of the way and let us have what's ours.
What's due to us.
What's due to us.
That's it.
Period.
That's it.
And if you look at the opposition political parties, they don't want Democrats to have diddly. And Democrats are so friendly. Well, guys, let's go. Hey, look, you can say what you want to say about Trump, but Trump ain't trying to hear it. Trump make it happen. And his people. And sometimes you got to be like Trump, especially in our position after we've been beat over the head. Listen, since the 1964 Civil Rights Act.
Yeah. Right. Yeah,
that's
you're right.
for sure.
You're right.
That's for sure. If you read the act, we ain't came up yet.
Yeah.
2 or 3 of us, and they done gave us some jobs, made us the president of a
bank,
American Express,
yeah.
and head of UPS, and okay, all that.
Right.
But guess what? Say something wrong and you fired.
You gone.
Yeah. When we gonna get us some UPS? When we gonna own something?
So let me ask you this in closing. Let me ask you this. So the school that you have that educates the young people, or just whomever, there's people on getting this contract, and what is it to look forward to in a nutshell?
So what we need to do is we need to educate people in our community, better the young people, that this is how we need to start doing it moving forward. Because our young brothers and sisters, those under 30, they don't too much know nothing about no civil rights.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't know what Dr. Martin Luther King, they don't know nothing about no Edmund Petty Bridge. The white boys and girls, they go along together.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Our problem is our leaders who are in position to make that transition is still stuck back in 64.
Okay, I got you.
Perfect example, the Voters Act.
Yeah, that's what just happened. Yeah.
Shouldn't take long to figure that out.
Yeah.
What's the problem
Right.
on letting everybody vote?
Right.
Obviously, they don't want it to happen because if they let everybody vote, they probably gonna lose.
Oh, absolutely.
So-
they see it. They see it. You know.
So again, what the MWDBE Training Academy do, my mission, this is my mission. My mission first is to make sure that if you want to do business in the state of Texas
Okay.
as a certified,
Qualified. Yeah.
MWDBE, you need to have at least 32 hours of training
Okay.
under 49 CFR Part 26 and 2161 Texas law.
Okay.
That's in Texas. But I also teach this all over the country.
Okay.
And basically all this is the rules and regulations of understanding being involved in government contract.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's all it is. Now, it's deep and entailed, but all we want to do is get your juices flowing
Right.
to get you start thinking. And the way to do that is take those who are already in the program and try to cipher out the best of the best.
Okay.
And for the new ones coming in, have them to understand this is how we need to establish it moving forward. So it took us over 50 years to screw it up or not change.
Right.
So what's wrong with giving the next 20, 25 years to changing it? Now, I may not be able to see it, but guess what? A Wally might, and that's my grandson. He might. And so I ain't doing it for me. I'm doing it for you.
Next generation. Right.
I'm doing it for the next generation.
Right.
When I leave this world, I want somebody to say, you know what? G. Wade kicked the door in, and that's my mission.
Right.
Listen, white people that I deal with all the time, they don't like it, but guess what? They respect it because it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's
It's the law too.
It's the truth and the law.
So I get it. Yeah.
And listen, people say, well, man, if you say that, you ain't going to get no contract. They didn't ask me the most important question. Do I give a damn about getting a contract? I'm going to work.
Right.
The God I serve tell me, water the people, help my people, and I got you.
Right. It's knowledge. Knowledge is more. I think knowledge is more powerful than anything.
Than anything, including money. Because if you got some damn sense, you're going to get you some money.
Right. That's basically
If
right.
you ain't got no sense, I don't care. The old saying say, fool with money, soon part.
Right.
Get some money, and I bet you won't be a fool. Get you some knowledge, and you're going to keep your money.
Absolutely.
So, man, listen, Adam, I would love to do this, man. This is something that we need to do in our community. You know, I do it every day, all day. If it's not in front of a mic, it's at a business. It's at my business. It's at somebody's business. It's on the street. It's everywhere I go. You know, man, we got to change our way we think, man. We got to change our –
Yeah.
So what if it offend the opposition? I'm offended.
Yeah.
You know, so what's good for Peter ought to be good for Paula. You know, that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it.
Look, guys, look, you heard it. Look, this was a heavy podcast with knowledge and information. And I'm talking about you guys can rewind this 10 times and go back and still learn something from this. But the good thing about it, we have a brother that's here and letting you guys know that he's going to educate you. All you got to do is apply to the academy. And what's the academy information?
MWDBE. MWDBE Academy.com.
So when is registration?
Well, we're setting up right now for the next class. We do 4 years.
Okay.
Winter, spring, summer, fall. We're setting up for the January 22 winter edition.
Okay.
And here's the deal.
All right.
100.
Okay.
100. I allow 100. So the first 100 that register and get in, that's who I let in.
Okay.
Now, if you register and get in and you miss 3 dates for whatever reason,
Out of there.
out of there. Because this is my valuable time.
That's right.
I give it up. It's every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for 1 hour from 7 to 8.
Okay.
And guess what, dude? We play music. We have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I've taught this in Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas more than 5 times.
Okay.
The people in other parts of the country love this program. People in my state,
But look,
we're gonna change.
we're gonna change that though.
We're gonna do better. We're gonna do better because we're reaching your audience.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna change that, guys. Look, make sure you go there. The guys that reached out to me earlier today that asked about that, I want you guys to go there. Everybody that's listening to this program, I want you guys to go there. And I want you guys, the first 100, I want you guys to have 200 people to show up, because the thing is, we're gonna be powerful with paper. You dig what I'm saying? Powerful with paper. We can't do nothing without having that money.
We need knowledge. And listen, Adam, if we get a big response, I'll pump the class up to 500.
Okay, there it is. See, look.
And not only that, listen, here's a bonus.
Go ahead.
Everybody who have been in the MWDBE Training Academy in my class, I am their personal mentor.
Okay.
My phone rang 24/7, 365.
Oh, there it is.
I take time to answer your question if it's a good, legitimate question.
Okay, don't worry. Look, I'm signing up right now. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's do it.
I'm signing up.
And I want to come back whenever you want me on your show, man.
Absolutely.
We can do it. You know, like I told you before, hey, we need to grow this.
Yes.
People need to see this. We need to get you, instead of 10,000 listeners, we need to get you 110,000
That's right.
listeners.
It's coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's coming, you know. It just takes time, you know.
Absolutely.
Oh, but I appreciate you coming on the show.
Anytime,
I do, man.
bro. Anytime.
Happy holidays to you and your
Same
family.
to you and your family.
To the viewers, happy holidays to you guys. I thank you guys for viewing in, man. I appreciate everything what you're doing for the community. If you're doing it for the community and you're doing it behind closed doors, I appreciate that.
Keep doing it. Keep
guys,
doing it.
This is the Closely Distinct Podcast, man. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Much love to y'all. Happy holidays and peace out.
Peace out.